McCaffrey with the Independent Examiner, and we're back with Dr. John Castino in our continuing series on the injustice that was done to him and that happens to a lot of people in this country. And we have the hard facts and figures of what went on, but we want to take Doc Castino back to the first time you had to walk up the courtroom steps and into the courtroom and face not only your accusers, but members of your community and a judge. And Doc, you were arrested in your office.
Correct.
You were taken to the police station. You were given an exorbitant bail, came to $100,000
Yes.
cash bail. And then a couple days later, you were to appear in court for your first formal hearing. And as you were walking up the courtroom steps with your attorney and your wife, a place that was familiar to you as an expert witness, but never as a defendant. What was going through your mind? How did you feel about this?
Upset and angered.
At that point, did you know what you were charged with?
Yes.
Okay.
And they gave me a list of charges. 26, incidentally.
26.
And I thought they were all really stupid.
Okay. And how did you feel walking into that courtroom and having to stand there and be accused?
Upset and very angry. Believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I follow all the rules and the regulations of the city and the state that I live in, and of the medical board who licensed me as a physician, and the DEA who licensed me to be able to prescribe certain medications.
And at that point, how long had you been practicing medicine?
Since 1971.
Okay, and that had been almost, 40 years, nearly? And
Yes.
okay, and you grew up, you had a hard scrabble life, you worked your way up from the bottom,
Yes.
and as you said, followed all the rules and so on, and this came as quite a shock to you, I would imagine. What was your feeling as you stood before a judge from your community and heard the list of charges being read out, and what did that make you feel like?
I felt that the whole thing was so absurd, and I had already told this guy, Hallett, who arrested me,
Okay, he was the county detective?
detective,
Mhm.
that you're making a big mistake here, because you don't know what you're doing.
Mhm.
You don't know the law, and they didn't know the law.
Right.
And I can prove that they didn't know the law. I knew it then, because I've known the law since I started practicing.
Did you feel confused about why is this happening to me?
Well, the confusion was not why is it happening to me.
Mhm.
The confusion was, what am I doing here? I should be in my office practicing medicine.
Mhm.
Well, what am I doing here in front of this judge who doesn't know the law? Nobody knows the law. I know the law.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a physician. I've been in practice since 1971, and I know the medical law, and I know the legal law.
Was your attorney able to explain how this happened?
No.
No? Mm. Did you ever feel betrayed by your government or your country or the legal system?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever, in your wildest imaginings, ever think that something like this could happen to you?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Yep.
This is, again, why I was angry and upset.
And you belong to a lot of civic groups,
I do.
and you did a lot of community work
I did.
and charitable work
Yes.
and raised fine children.
Yes.
Okay. And then this happens to you. What would you say to your fellow citizens about the possibility of their government turning on them in such a way if somebody made a complaint against them or did not like something they did or for some other reason had it in for them?
If the authorities and the prosecutors of these various counties and state organizations can do this to me,
Mm-hmm.
a practice practicing physician who follows all the rules and all the regulations, they can do it to anybody.
Okay. Well, Doc, I think that's where we're going to end with this week. We'll be continuing the story, this saga, this 5-year saga of what you went through to get your name back, to get your reputation back, and to be vindicated of all these charges, and you still have not gotten your license back.
Only because they want $90,000 from me.
Okay.
The Board of Medical Examiners and the state of New Jersey.
Well, we will be continuing it and following it as we progress, and thanks for being with us. This is Helen McCaffrey for the Independent Examiner.
Thank you very much.